what we're doing currently in schools across the world is pretty much not working, because most people do not leave their school as a fluent speaker and a confident communicator.
To me, the thing that I've talked about it as well, but the thing that clicked for me was when I started learning Polish here in Poland. Right. Because again, you know, as a native Spanish speaker, when you try to learn English or French, you know, languages with a lot of cognates and similar words, you can sort of fool yourself for a while.
Yeah.
Right? But when I started learning Polish and like a completely different language with pretty funny grammar and stuff like that, I started to realize that, you know, this cannot be the way. Like, there's no way I'm walking down the street, you know, trying to talk to someone, and I need to consciously think about all the specific rules, you know, whether, because it's like Latin or other languages, it has cases, they're called cases, right? So I need to think, okay, so this specific word has this specific function in this sentence, so I need to use this case. Because the word is masculine, feminine, or neutral. I need to change the ending. And
exactly.
By the time I come up with the right answer, the other person is 2 miles away. You know?
Exactly. And that's like that from Dr. Stephen Krashen's kind of monitor hypothesis that he talks about that you know, if we're trying to speak and we're constantly trying to monitor the grammar we're using, and am I doing this right or that right, of course it's going to impede your communication, it's going to impede your confidence, and really, like, it's better just to get loads of the inputs and kind of muddle it all up at the beginning, and it'll get better over time. And yes, okay, it can be useful to know some of the grammar rules when you're writing and you have time to think about it. But when we're speaking and trying to communicate, we need the inputs first. We need to build those inputs first, and then we can start to look at that, you know? Like, it's a crazy thing if you think about it, that you would, you know, for example, if it was like, I don't know, like the mechanics of a car, that you would teach like every single tiny component of the car, like this screw screws in like this, and it goes this way and that way. But you've never seen the car move. You've never seen the engine work. You've never seen anything go. And you're kind of like, what? Like, how does this all go together? You're much better seeing the whole engine work over and over and over again, and then going, so this screw leads to this screw, and this one brings over to this bit. And that, like, it just makes sense. It's crazy to think that we would break down a language into like all these tiny little rules and patterns, of which they've just been kind of made up over time, and then try and say, now I want you to piece all that together and speak really well, even though they've not heard the language enough times. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's just not how it works, you know.
No.
It's, I don't know, I guess like a conscious adult attempt to control the process, you know. It's just, but I was going to say something, I forgot.
Well, I'll jump in, because I think one of the things that is really interesting for me is that you're right, it's the dominant practice. But the thing that I find really challenging is when people say, oh, but no, we need to teach the grammar first, we need to do this, is like, what we're doing currently in schools across the world is pretty much not working, because most people do not leave their school as a fluent speaker and a confident communicator. It's very rare that you get that. Maybe 1 or 2% of the really, really, really motivated and engaged ones. But the other 97, 98%, they just drop it. They're not leaving strong communicators. And how many times do you meet people in your life who say, oh yeah, I did English at school, but I couldn't do it. Or, oh, I did Spanish at school, and you know, I did it for 6 years, but I can't say a sentence. It's like, that is an absolute, you know, that's a damning indictment on us and our profession. If we're teaching stuff for 6 years and the person can't have a basic conversation at the end of it that's not learned off by heart, like, we have to change something. We can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting it to get better. Like, something has to dramatically change.
That's actually, it was Einstein who said that was the definition of insanity, right? I mean,
he's quite a smart man. We should maybe listen to him.
Like, you mentioned like only 2-3% get to actually communicate in the language after all those years. And I would even argue that if you analyze those specific cases, deeply, there is, they probably get to communicate because they're listening to music in their spare time. Or if you analyze every individual case, you'll probably notice certain activities, or they're getting exposed to the language in a different way that you're not aware of, and that's actually what's helping them. Not because they're smarter or they work harder or whatever it is. It's just not how it works. And what I wanted to mention before is like you and people listening, you've probably noticed that when most people speak in a foreign language, they have a sort of like a broken speech, like there's a lot of pauses, and that's why they're trying to access that conscious knowledge that they got from traditional classes, right? It just doesn't work that way, and that's why you need to think about every single thing you want to say. And that's why after, I don't know, 20 minutes, your head is like exploding. It's like, give me a break, right?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if that's the case, here you can find the whole interview in which we talked about plenty more things related to how languages are actually acquired. And finally, right here, you can smash this guy in the face to subscribe to my channel. And I really appreciate that right hook. Bye-bye.